So boom. Good morning, guys. All the birthday celebrations are complete. Well, the kids anyway. The important stuff is out of the way. And yeah, he said FA Cup weekend. Unfortunately, tell me something. Tell me this cup is not finished. Or not finished, I shouldn't say that. Tell me it's not in the mud at the moment because there's no real interest. Liverpool, Plymouth. I mean, last night's game was on ITV4. God, blimey. ITV4, you know. Jeez Louise. Had to watch the boxing in the end. But today we've got Liverpool, Plymouth. No one cares. Blackburn, Wolves. No one cares. Villa, Spurs. Bit of spice, bit of needle. That's about it. Tomorrow's Palace, Doncaster. So it still continues. Still flowing on. And then, thank God, we have Real Madrid, Man City, midweek, Tuesday. That is going to be an absolute corker. It's a two-legged affair. Oof. Oof. Who else is there? Juve, PSV, PSG, Brest. What? Pathetic. There's still FA Cup on Tuesday. Exeter versus Nottingham Forest. That is a throwback. But anyway, FA Cup, whatever. Do managers make a difference? That is today's topic. That is the question. Because Slot has come in and he's turned this team into somewhat of a title-winning team. Although the last two seasons, last season, Liverpool were in this position, in the exact same position. I think they're 4 points better off. I think. Don't quote me on that. It might even be more than 4 points. But they're better off. And Slot has changed this team from gung-ho to more calculated and more efficient. So it's a more efficient side. That's down to the manager. It was already a good team. And they haven't bought nobody. So he's just made some tweaks. So that's down to management. David Moyes is coming to Everton and he's changed things. That could be a new manager bounce. Who knows? But as it stands, he's come in and he's made tweaks and the team's performing better. I don't know if I've got enough games with Ruben Nistelrooy and Man United, because when he was at Man United, I think it was for 4 games, wasn't it? You know, he's getting results. He was getting results. Ruben's come in and the opposite has happened. The results are terrible and the performances are looking sketchy. You know, so does the manager play a massive part? Someone like Joaquin will tell me that the manager has nothing to do with it, and then in the same breath, he will, when Ruben wins, he says that's down to the manager. I mean, it's weird, but anyway. But for me, managers, the be all and end all. Big Ange, Spurs, after 10 games last season, they had something like 26 points. This season, after 23 games, they've accumulated 27 points. Same manager, better team than they had last season. He's more familiar with the league. So it's strange to see the dip. Arteta had Arsenal 8th twice. Do you know what I mean? That was his team. It wasn't his team, but he was clearing out, but these were his tactics. But with time, he evolved, got better players in, and they could adapt to his tactics. So with time and patience, you see the progress. Arsene Wenger, when he first arrived at Arsenal had just finished 5th. We just finished 5th. Bruce Rioch was a terrible manager, but he not steadied the ship, because I know George Graham's last season we finished 12th, but he didn't finish the season. He was sacked mid-season, and then Stuart Houston, I think, took over, and it was just a mess. So then Bruce Rioch had us 5th, as you can say, it's steadying the ship somewhat, but Wenger comes in. Halfway through that season, finishes third, and then goes from third to first. All within his first full season, wins a double. Again, down to the manager. A style of play was implemented, players were brought in, and he didn't need to make crazy changes. He just had to bring in 4 or 5 players and change the mentality of players that are already at the club, and that's what happened. Beautiful stuff. So the manager has a pivotal role to play. It is all on the manager, in my opinion. This is his style. It's your players, especially managers that have had time and been there long enough to implement exactly what they want. And they've brought every player in that squad is their player. That is when you expect to see results, and results are also trophies. It's a result business. You have to finish as high up the league as possible, and if you're not going to win the league, you best win a trophy. That's how it is, and that's how it's always been, and that is down to the manager. Pochettino, Pochettino, but although he had a great he had a good foundation to work off, and he had a gem. He had a gem in the pack. He had that joker in that pack, and that joker was Bale. Bale was fantastic, but he harnessed that and managed. Harry Redknapp harnessed. Harry Redknapp got the best out of him, and then Poch just had to add on to it. Didn't have to do too much, because at that point Bale was already doing bits and bobs. And again, interestingly, Wenger said Bale shouldn't leave Spurs when he left Spurs. This is before he left Spurs, though. Just before he left, he said he should stay. He should stay in England, develop more, have another top season. So it gives you credit in the bank. Never just credit. It just gives you also yourself the belief to know that you can go on to the next level. And when he went to Madrid, he couldn't do that. He obviously won trophies and whatever, had standout moments, but he should have been the guy. But he went at the time when Ronaldo was still at his peak. And in normal football, in normal times, he probably went at the right time, because Ronaldo was edging towards 30. But post 30, Ronaldo was also a beast and became a different player. Wasn't going to be dribbling past 8 man and doing the tricks and flicks. He was going to do one trick, maybe one flick. But then Ronaldo would just bury the ball in the back of the net. He became a prolific second striker. Let's call him that. Let's call him a second striker. And he became a prolific one at that. And again, probably down to the style of manager that was at the club at the time, Jose Mourinho, because Jose just got the best out of Ronaldo. It was almost reminiscent of his Chelsea team. Almost. For me, that's his best team, not the Inter Milan team. Inter Milan team was good, and it was great. But that Chelsea team that he built, Damien Duff, again, that's another great example. Jose Mourinho. When Mourinho came in, they just finished second to Arsenal, I think it was, under Claudio, and Claudio was shy. I mean, even if he gave him another season with that Chelsea, he wouldn't have won the league. He wouldn't have won it. That's why him winning of Leicester was an anomaly. It's crazy. But Jose came in and he changed English football as well. He changed the tactics of English football. Him and Rafa Benitez together brought in really meticulous level of tactician and tactical work. All your tacticos out there, this is for you, this bit, because he came and implemented a somewhat was it a 4-3-3? I think it was a 4-3-3. No, it was a 4-3-2-1, and Pep had a 4-3-3, a proper 4-3-3, and Jose had a 4-3-2-1, which hadn't been seen in England before. I mean, Arsene Wenger was doing a variation of a 4-4-2, because we wasn't playing a 4-4-2 per se, because Henry would drift that to the left along with Robert Pires, along with Ashley Cole, which is weird because you'd think it would be congested. But those three would work in tandem, because at some point Henry would drift back into the centre. So from the left to the centre. So he would go from centre to left, from left to the centre. He basically had a free reign, which would allow Pires to bomb on, Ashley Cole to bomb on even further, Freddie Ljungberg to bomb on, because Dennis Bergkamp would drop deep and Patrick Vieira could bomb on. because he's box to box, Gilberto would stay still, Edu would stay still, Ray Parlour would stay still, Petit would stay still. Petit was Patrick Vieira's best partner, but Gilberto has to be mentioned because of what he did in the Invincibles. But yeah, Jose came in and changed English football with that tactic because he had Duff on one side and he had Robin on the other. And you had never seen that really in the Premier League. A left-footed player on the right-hand side. We'd seen right-footed on the left, which Wenger had brought in. Went with Mark Overmars and the Robert Pires of the worlds. To be fair, Wenger did put Reyes on the right, but I don't think he knew where to play Reyes. It was interesting, but again, management tactics. Changing philosophies, bringing new tactics to the Premier League, bringing new tactics to whatever league you're going to. That Pep's 4-3-3 was Pep's first 4-3-3 was the best 4-3-3. As in his Barcelona teams, any one of them. No, I don't know about the Henry one. I think I prefer Villa. Was Villa there with Pep? I think he was, wasn't he? All I know is that David Villa for me was. And the reason also, when Pep left Barcelona, his imprint was still there.
Oh my God.
What?
Is that you facing that way?
Oh, because I thought you smart because it was Pep. What? Because people saw you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh wait, no one's even in the chat today. So right, it's a quiet one. Anyway, guys, we could talk about managers all day, but if I've got no one to talk to, I can't talk all day. But before I go, I want to talk about Wenger's philosophy because we didn't do too much watching the opposition. We did a lot of working on how to play, what our style of play would be. What's Big saying? Depends on the manager's philosophy. Some players fit and others don't. Gravenberch is a prime. Yeah, for Liverpool, this is a prime example because. And Cody, Gravenberch and Cody. Gravenberch was looked at as okay. We'll give him another chance. Cody was surplus to requirements almost. I saw a Liverpool chatter last. Cause I'm on it religiously. Last season on Twitter, a lot of Liverpool fans were saying Cody's got to go. He's not good enough, and yada yada yada. Fast forward, Slot has found a home for him, which is on the left because you know what. Diaz was on the left a lot, and for Jurgen, but my man likes to play him down the centre sometimes, which is interesting. So yeah, it's all about. That's why managers. It's pivotal what the manager does. It's pivotal the manager you get in. You haven't got time and patience in football today, but if somehow, some way you manage to have time and patience, like Arsenal did with Arteta, and get lucky. I mean, to be fair, Man United should have had some patience at this point. You're 12 years into project after Sir Alex Ferguson, and you haven't managed to find a manager. That's crazy. Some sort of patience needs to be had, regardless of the style. Cody tried to lay him as a striker, and didn't make sense as he was always a winger. But I blame Pep Lijnders. Why? Here we go. Why do you blame Pep Lijnders? It's funny because when Pep Lijnders was at your club, Biggs, Marv used to say Pep Lijnders was the mastermind, and this he used to eat off both Jurgen and Pep's arse. And he says, "Don't worry, when Jurgen leaves, Pep will take over." But the narrative has changed now that he's left, and everyone is blaming Pep Lijnders. But why do you blame Pep Lijnders? But again, this is all down to the manager, because didn't the manager ask for Pep Lijnders? Wasn't that his guy? Wasn't Pep Lijnders the guy that helped you win the league? This is why the manager is very pivotal, because it's also down to the team that they bring in at this point. Do you know what I mean? Who's coaching? Look, when David Moyes went to United and they said he brought in his whole backroom staff and all this, and it was like we were used to caviar, we're used to fine steak, and this man's coming and brought in bangers and mash training. The players didn't respect it. He had to go. AVB at Spurs was doing things the players were like, what? don't make sense. So it is the manager is pivotal. They play a crucial role. Pep Linders was a joke. His tactics were horrible, and he was Klopp's number 2. Klopp was less on the field and left it to Pep. Now Pep is jobless. Interesting. Let me screenshot that. I want to show this to him. I want to see what Marvelous has to say about this. Even though you could be Marvelous, Biggs. Because he was eating out of Linda's arse. But you're saying his tactics were awful. Interesting. It's funny because before Slot kicked the ball, during the transfer window, you Biggs, I brought up about the Klopp Wenger conversation, and you was trying to justify or not validate, but give reason why we could argue why Jurgen was better than Wenger. And I asked during the season, is Slot better than Jurgen? You said relax. Now we fast forward to January. After Slot's had some time to bed in, it's Pep Linders as a joke, and the tactics all over the place, and it's interesting. The narrative. Liverpool are good spinners. They spin it well. Managers definitely make a difference. Just look at Chelsea a few years back. Lampard had them around 7th, 8th. Tuchel comes in a few months later. And that was crazy. A few months later, they go and win the Champions League. How mad was that? How mad? A team that was desperate, fighting for their lives, basically, and they go the same team. They sack a manager, and they go and win the Champions League. Crazy. Saves their season, saves their legacy. Nah, brother, Slot is not better than Klopp. Let's see what I'm going in 2 years when I can make a correct judgment. If Slot wins the league this season, he's basically he's on pace. He's eclipsed basically. He's basically eclipsed Jurgen, but he's on pace definitely to eclipse him. Shake your booty for the man there, Chris Ibbs. What you saying, baby? You back? That's why I don't get Arsenal fans' obsession with Arteta. He's done a great job get an elite manager in and watch the I agree with you, Ryan. I agree. But psychology is so important in anything that we do in life, and in football especially. The psychology of in football is in full flow with the manager, because Arsenal fans see this young, handsome man with perfect hair, and that plays a massive role in the obsession, because the idea of a manager was old and in a suit and this and that. Now it's all young and hip and looking good and still having your full head of hair at 42, whatever he is, and he ain't got a single grey in that hair somehow, some way. Don't know how he manages it. It's a stressful job, Arsenal is. But that plays a massive role, and people fall in love, because I agree. I agree with what they're saying. I also do believe he can get Arsenal over the line, and then he can become an elite manager. However, if he goes another season without the league or Champions League, it's like, do you know what I mean? Give me long enough, I might win a league. Do you know what I mean? It's at that point. So maybe we do need that manager in that can get you the titles to take it over the line, like Jose did for Chelsea, that Arsenal, that Wenger did for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? These men were instant successes. But Jurgen had set him up nicely. It's like seeing a buff gal and your brethren has patterned the Insta and digits already. She told your spot, I like your friend still. No graft involved. Facts. Facts. Zizou is the only manager to make Arsenal great again. Getting Zizou in would be fucking fantastic. But you know what? A lot of people don't believe in Zizou. They think what he did at Real Madrid was just a fluke. My only problem is he's been away from management for a while. Since then, I didn't think he would retire. I thought he would stay on. Him becoming a manager surprised me, to be fair. But he to win 3 Champions League, that's no joke. Did he win the league title, by the way? Did Zidane ever win the league title? How many league titles did he win? That's interesting. I need to know. I need to know how many league titles he won in that time. What else did he win? All I remember is the Champions League. They said the same about Pep. Yeah, but Pep he didn't take this long of a break. Yeah, but how many trophies did he win, Jay? That's why how many league titles did he win at Real Madrid? Zizou and the Juventus gaffer would sort out Arsenal rapid. No league or cups this season means Arteta has to collect. I think he has to collect his P45, to be fair, if we don't win the league or Champions League now at this point. I thought maybe give him one more season, but I don't know. Because everyone's like, let him have the striker that he desires. Well, bro, he's had 5 summers to get a striker. He's brought, I read yesterday, something like 15. So he's brought 4 goalkeepers, 15 defenders, 6 midfielders, and 4 attackers. It was something like that. Do you know how mad that is? Do you know how mad that is? That's it's ridiculous. Arsenal wouldn't get Zizou. Kroenkes couldn't handle a character like that. Can someone tell me how many league titles he won, please? Does anyone know? 11 trophies in 2 years. I thought he was there for 3 years, bruv. Did he win 3 league titles? 3 Champions Leagues? What trophies were they, Jay? Hey, Siri. What trophies did Zinedine Zidane win as Real Madrid manager?
Okay, I found this on the web for what trophies did Zinedine Zidane win as Real Madrid manager. Check it out.
What's the point of having to see if I got to use my hands? Pete's sake. So as a manager, yeah, he won 2 world best club coaches. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. So he won 3 Champions Leagues, 2 FIFA Club World Cups, 2 Spanish Cups. Okay. 2 Super Cups, 2 Spanish. Hold on. 2 Spanish. Oh, the Spanish champions. He won 2 Spanish Cups and he won the league as well. He won 2 league titles. Yes, Zizou. Fantastic. So what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he won 11 trophies in 3 seasons, bro. That's fantastic. What's the story with Zidane? Can't give him another season. The football needs to evolve past Arteta. You man spent P, and the trophies are not. And you know what? That's the next thing as well. We spent like 750 million. What do you let him get to 1 billion and not see anything, and then you've got to go and start again? Three Champions Leagues, 2 Super Cup. Yeah. I just checked it out. Fantastic record. No excuses. Arsenal get a world-class manager. But Zizou doesn't want to manage in the Prem. Why not, Biggs? What's his reasoning for that? What's the big man's reason? Oh, Zizou at Arsenal would be fitting, bruv. Like Wenger, Zizou, the student that got away. Nathan, we're saying, baby, morning people. Have you real are sniffing around for? Oh, have you heard Real are sniffing around for Saliba? Yeah, Arteta will die on his sword with his arrogance. Man, Arsenal must win things, and it must be the big things. Pause. The Premier League are scared to see Zidane manage Arsenal. Would be beautiful. Arteta is second highest paid manager in the world. He ain't going anywhere, and Cronkies are sacking. He ain't going anywhere, and Cronkies are sacking him. I'm not sacking him. I can't remember something about the league or the country itself. Let me Google it. Zinedine Zidane at the Arsenal would be fitting. Someone said, I'm sick and tired of this Spanish contingency. Make Arsenal French again. That's what someone said on Twitter. I just think we need a bit of French magic again with the Spaniards. It can work. Get this. And Zidane in the summer. That's 200 million there. Zidane's going to ask for a signing on fee, bro. He's going to do training as well. He's going to be coach. Oh, the Garden Zidane. Would be pucker. What's Gunga saying? Think about the team. Here we go. He's back on Arteta. Because I read about the 15 defenders. Think about the team that he inherited and where it was well resourced at the beginning and where it lacked. No, bruv. You cut 15 defenders. Says it all. Would you take Simeone Emirates? No. Boring. Simeone, I don't know if Simeone I don't know with Simeone. Is he? I don't know about him in the leagues and being a serial winner. We need a guaranteed serial winner. Zizou said it's due to the language barrier. Don't know if it's true. It was in the Daily Fell. Sorry, Mel. Show me the money. Money. Strikers are so down bad today, Chris. Wood could get us over the line. But we haven't even got a Wood, have we, Nathan? That's how bad it is, though. We ain't even got one, though. No, Klopp's team was way worse than the team Arsenal inherited. How's that possible when you finished second this season before 2 seasons before Klopp took over? That team finished second. Then you were hung over from finishing second because you lost Suarez and replaced him with Lambert. You couldn't get Sanchez because Sanchez wanted to come to Arsenal, a more attractive club. So Klopp had a good team. He had a good team. So let's not give it all that. Arsenal were in dire straits. And we transitioned from 2 managers. Tell Gunga the same team he inherited is the same team. How we spelled Gunga? Tell Gunga the same team. Tell Gunga the same team. Same team he inherited. It's the same team that got him his only trophy. Big Ryan. Just in capitals. Oh my God, keeps on spelling bug. Big Ryan Billing. Lovely. Good one, Ryan. I'm sure Zidane would sign 15 million a year contract. Damn, Skippy would. Chris Woods is 13 away from the 100 club. It's crazy, but he's played 100 years and he's not in the 100 club. I don't think he's going to make it either. Just Google that team and you will see Klopp's. I've seen his first team. I've seen it, but you're going from the first team that was available. Let's look at that squad. That's what we need to do, is look at the squad, not look at the first 11 that he had, because that is a narrative in its own right. Because then we're talking about who was injured, who was available. Let's not do that. Let's do the squad. Let's see what squad he had. And yes, we did have Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Ozil, which Arteta could have used and used wisely, but he didn't. He just sacked them all off. Ridiculous. So I'll give you that. In terms of the attack, in terms of that was fantastic, but everything else around it was shite. So, yeah. Let's not do that. Anyway, man, then I'm gone. I need to eat something. I am fucking hungry. Arteta don't like stars. Facts. We know that. He's going to buy Sesko. Hopefully. Touch wood. Let's see. And then I'm off. I'll catch you, man, later. Arteta had world-class players and let them dip for free. Every single one was terminated.